last one.
I know, we can't.
Because
It was awful. We
Chris is
kept
never
making.
here.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. It's Chris's fault. Totally.
I'll take the blame for this. Even though it's not my fault. But I think I enjoyed the last one, despite it taking 2 hours. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So here we are again, going for a second round of. Well, I just went blank. Oh, that's right. Forgot what we were doing.
Recording a podcast.
Recording a podcast. Hi, welcome everyone.
God.
Um,
Should we reintroduce ourselves, or are we done with that?
You know what? No, we should do that just in case.
Okay.
Just in case.
Okay.
So if we have any, the next time if we have any special guests, we can introduce them also. Anyway, Chris. Next in line.
Michael.
Nikki?
Woo! Good job, guys. I'm so proud of you.
Ooh, we said our names. We're so awesome.
So proud of you on the internet. No, Anonymous will find you because they're everywhere. No, just kidding.
Anonymous.
Don't get me started. If only Mike was here. Anyway, speaking of the Knights of the Internet, SOPA everywhere. SOPA's been everywhere the past week. After the biggest nerds of the nerds standing on the tallest shoulders of the biggest internet nerdy giants, SOPA finally trickled down to the masses, and a lot of people took up arms and fought against the evil SOPA. Pretty sure most of those people didn't even know what it was.
Still don't know what it is.
Still don't know what it is. So basically, I guess we can just do a quick little recap of it, right?
Sure.
So SOPA, do you guys know what it is? Did you guys get a chance to read up on what it did?
Not everything, but generally, yes.
Generally. Well, there was tons. I mean, right when SOPA kind of first came out, there was a lot of buzz generated, and then, wheels started turning, YouTubers banded together, and then a couple months ago I realized that a lot of big-name YouTubers were throwing out videos, just breaking it down as simple as they could, just going through it, and basically just letting everyone know what it was and what it would do, and just how bad it was for the internet.
Yeah, I think Total Biscuit did a really good breakdown of it.
That's right, he did. And then I watched Total Biscuit's video, and then I also found a shorter video, which was like 5 or 6 minutes long, that also explained it. I mean, they were both done amazingly. But I guess if you still want to inform yourself on that, I can put those 2 videos in the link. But basically, what it would do was it would give companies the power to sue and shut down websites for having like links and stuff to content that they didn't basically own or have permission to link to, right? Am I hitting the gist of it?
Mm-hmm.
By Mega Upload.
Yeah, Mega
like
Upload.
Basically what SOPA would do is it would do the same thing that they did to Mega Upload, the same thing that they're doing to more and more sharing sites, except they wouldn't have to involve the police. They could just do it themselves.
Yeah. And, I mean, they could sue them, basically. They could just sue them and take on them for all their money and throw them in jail. I just recently learned that the guy from Mega Upload is getting 50 years in jail.
What?
And that is ridiculous.
He's
People-
getting... Yeah, it's pretty
People
ridiculous.
who murder other people don't get that long in jail.
Oh, no. This gentleman killed his mother and tried to bury her body in the basement, and he's getting 20 years in jail. And the dude who owns Mega Upload is getting 50. So, I mean, we really have our priorities
Oh,
in the
yeah.
wrong place.
I mean,
I saw a
What?
thing on
Not-
Pirate Bay. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
On Pirate Bay, they're saying, price for killing Michael Jackson, 4 years. Price for uploading Michael Jackson's music, 5 years.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, where are our priorities? Like, we're trying to protect all these big, huge companies that are making millions, but at what cost? Like, really? I mean, they're trying to protect the entertainment industry, but I mean, shit. Have you seen the garbage they're passing off as entertainment these days? I mean, that's not even it. Like, the entertainment industry really doesn't add much to the economy, anyways. So to go out of our way to try and stop basically the freedom of the internet, like, you're messing with the freedom of the internet. You're messing with the hornet's nest, man.
What I was gonna say is that I'm so glad that we're going after the people who are making the file sharing websites that don't. I mean, if all that stuff about them like promoting piracy and actually like doing underhanded deals with people who put pirated stuff on their site, if that's all true, then yes, they deserve some jail time, not 50 freaking years.
Yeah, that's
but
ridiculous.
some. But let's not go after the people who are actually pirating the stuff and then sharing it with people who, you know, didn't buy it or whatever. Let's not go after those people. Let's go after the people who are just making file sharing sites for people to share files.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But like I said, this whole SOPA PIPA thing was threatening the freedom of the internet. I mean, the internet is just so big and so free, and you can just find anything on the internet now, that it was nice to see big, huge names do blackouts. And if you were living under a rock when they were doing the blackouts, basically websites were shutting down on purpose just to show you this could happen. Like, we could be shut down. You know, Wikipedia blacked out. Google was blacked out.
Their logo
was blacked out. They still showed support. Etsy, I know Etsy and Pinterest both had a thing where when you try to go on their site, they had this warning about SOPA and PIPA, and then under that it was like, click here to sign a petition, or no thanks, I don't want to do anything about it. So it was kind of hard to say, like, oh, you know, I don't want to do anything about it. But it was just nice to see that kind of support, especially things like Etsy and Pinterest, which are getting pretty big now. What kind of made me sad was big, huge YouTube names like Rooster Teeth and Machinima didn't really have a stance against SOPA. And I was just like, dude, like, if this passed, like, your channel is shut down. Like, you're making all this ad revenue playing games that don't belong to you. You know what I mean? Like, all your directors on there, like...
Did they not just release a statement, like, either way? Or did they kind of say things that were for it?
They just didn't really release a definitive stance.
Well, I mean, that's understandable, because a lot of people... I don't know, a lot of people didn't take the time to educate themselves, so if they're like, oh, we're against it for, you know, because everybody else is against it, then that's not a credible statement, and I understand why you wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But it is sad that some people didn't educate themselves.
It is sad. And as much as I don't want to sound like a hipster, I knew about SOPA before everyone else did. No. I was signing petitions, and I was telling people about it. But as soon as, I mean, the whole website's blacking out and stuff, I think that really drove people to be like, whoa, what the hell is this SOPA thing? Like, I'm going to Google it real quick.
Yeah, I think the small victory we had with the blackouts is that politicians actually started to educate themselves, and that's the most important thing. And it's sad that they don't do that for everything anyways.
Yeah, it must be really hard being old and rich. But yeah, it was great to see all those websites come together, and it was great to see politicians pretty much just flip-flop overnight on their stance on SOPA and PIPA. And on Tumblr, actually, the other day I saw that the guy who wrote up the whole SOPA PIPA thing, the background he used for his website, thank God there was an internet knight who actually found out that was a copyrighted image that he didn't give credit to. So basically... I mean, we've all done it. We've all just copy and pasted. We've all just saved an image. We've all just, downloaded a song or two. But
the background on my YouTube channel, I got that off a wallpaper, and I just repurposed it for my own uses.
Right?
You know.
Right. But it was nice. Small victory. They're gonna try again and again and again, rewording it differently. And our job as Templars of the internet is to stay vigilant. And
I mean, if you really want to stop piracy, you can't just shut down the people who are doing it. What you have to do is make it so you don't need to pirate things anymore.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know, the entertainment industry just needs to change the way that it markets things. Like if you had demos for things, like the iTunes preview song is kind of getting there, but you should have a limited number of listens before you have to buy it. That way you
Yes.
really knew if you would like the song or not, or you really knew if you would like an album or not, or TV shows, or, I mean, I don't know. TV shows are a little bit iffy because, I mean, they're on public television. You should be able to watch them anytime you want anyways,
Yeah.
I think, but I mean, there just
Now
needs
without
to
the
be
written express permission of the NFL.
Yeah.
there just needs to be better services provided to buyers, and then we wouldn't have to pirate, and this wouldn't be a problem.
Exactly. No, yeah, I mean, I get where you're coming from, but at the same time, like, I mean, the Dark Knight's been doing promotion for like over a year, or the new Dark Knight movie coming out this summer has been doing promotion since last year's summer. Like, how many millions were spent on promoting that movie? Like, really? Like, that's something you don't really need to promote. And I think game companies and movie companies are just putting way too much of the resources and trying to push this crap down our throats that they're like, oh, well, pirating is hurting us, when someone's down. Like, pirating is not hurting you as much as you wasting all your money and resources on trying to pump this game at us that you're going to release.
Not finished.
Yeah, not finished. Super buggy. Dead Island, Battlefield 3, like Modern Warfare 3. Like, how many Modern Warfares now and the spawns haven't been fixed yet? Like, are you serious?
Yeah, can we talk about that for a little bit? How there's like a trend now where game developers are purposely releasing unfinished games and then making us buy DLC to finish the game.
Yeah.
How I just
not even DLC, but day one patches. Like, I have to patch my game. I just installed it. Like, it just took me 30 minutes to install this game, or even longer if you're getting it off of Steam. Like, I just had to download this 13 gigabyte game, and now I have to do a 400 megabyte patch. Like, what are you doing? I mean, bravo to Rockstar, who promised us Max Payne 3 like last year, but they keep pushing it back because it's like, it's not done. Yeah. It's not done. It's not at a level where we feel comfortable, or it's not at its peak of excellence. Like, bravo, thank you so much. Yeah, pushing it back sucks, but honestly, like, give me a game that works. Give me a game that I don't have to patch every single week just because. You can't release it when it's done, Dead Island.
But it's like, how many people are seriously going to lose interest in a game because you keep pushing back the release date versus how many people are going to lose interest in a game because everybody says it's broken on the first day?
Yeah. Yeah.
Duke Nukem?
Yeah, Duke Nukem. I mean, don't hold back Max Payne 3 for 13 years like Duke Nukem, just...
And then release total
Diablo
garbage.
3.
Oh man, Diablo 3 is... So excited. I mean, Duke Nukem's one of those things, though, where it was a franchise that made sense at the time. The whole 90s, like, when Arnold Schwarzenegger was still making movies and Sylvester Stallone was still doing stuff. He was, a big buff dude that smoked cigars. But those kids have, people that loved Duke Nukem grew up out of that stage, Like, a lot of them got an education and had children. Like, they didn't want that anymore. So when it was finally released, everyone's like, this is what I've been waiting for? This is garbage.
That's why I like Naughty Dog and their games, is because when you were younger and you grew up on Crash Bandicoot, then that was a more childlike game. And then they've been releasing games so that the same people can come back and play a game that they would like. Because, I mean, Jak and Daxter, the first one was kind of cartoonish, but the second one really grew up a lot. And then you have the Drake series. That's amazing. And now they're releasing even a more serious game about zombies that I hope is good.
Yeah.
But more developers need to do that.
They're developing, they understand that their audience is going to grow up, and it's almost like they're making, I wouldn't say, well, I guess I can say timeless games to where like age-appropriate kids can play those games that were released at that time and kind of grow up with that line of games also, and end up caught up wherever they're heading now.
Currently, yeah.
You know. So, anyway, that was SOPA for you, destroying the freedom of the internets.
We got way far away from SOPA.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, the entertainment industry wouldn't be alive without the internet anyways, especially nowadays.
Exactly. I mean, if you kill the internet, then you're killing your business. You're going to lose more money censoring the internet than you are to piracy.
Yeah, when was the last time you opened a magazine and was like, whoa, what? Freaking Modern Warfare 3's coming out in like 2 months? Heck yeah. Never. Never. You knew about Modern Warfare 3 since inception, since day one, like, because of the internet, because of searching on the internet for what you wanted to learn.
Yeah. Well, even like gaming news, like, I mean, I know X-Play is not what it was, but gaming review shows like that and the ones on the internet, they're what promote the games if it's good. And if all you're going to have if SOPA passes is whatever kind of crappy advertisement that the game is going to have.
Yeah. And whatever they pay Joe Schmo to say on some forum.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if it... I've noticed, especially when, like, the Twilight movie was coming out, and they would be, like... They would show those snippets of, like... They were supposed to be, like, reviews, like... Oh, electrifying, and the best one yet. If you look closely at who they were quoting, they were names like Honeysuckle 500 YouTube forums, or it was, like, Twitter. Like, are you joking me? Like, that's not a review. That's just you, like, searching Twitter for, you know, hashtag Twilight rocks, and you just pulling junk off of there.
Well, and that too, like, what is up with the movie industry putting things in trailers that aren't in the movie?
Yeah, I'm looking at you, Dumb and Dumber. I'm just kidding.
False advertising.
That happens a lot. Yeah, I know. And anyway, just real quick, trailers, they give away too much in the movie nowadays. It's ridiculous. I'll be watching a movie, and it'll be like this. It's supposed to be like this moment where you're like, oh my god, he can die right now, and then I get the glimpse of the trailer like, no, wait, he hasn't fought the dragon yet. What am I thinking? Stupid.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. The way I judge trailers now, if I want to go see a movie based on a trailer, is that I have to assume that the most amazing parts are in the trailer already. And then I have to judge by those parts if I want to go see the movie.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I hope that the most amazing parts aren't in the trailer, though, because then it's like, well, why even watch the rest of the movie? If the 5-star content is in this 3-minute trailer, why go spend $11 to go watch another hour and 45 minutes?
So many people do it that you just have to. I'm just so pessimistic about it now that I just have to assume that's what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You guys think the movie trailers give away a lot now? Have you guys watched like old trailers from the 80s?
Yeah, it was the whole movie, because old trailers back then were like 5
it really
minutes long.
was.
They're like 5 minutes long.
Like I watched like the Conan the Barbarian trailer for like the original. It was like it literally was the whole movie. Like they show him, you know, as a kid, his village getting raided, him being a slave, you know, getting out of it, and then the whole movie.
It's the whole movie.
The summary.
I mean, a great example of something that doesn't give too much away is the new Batman trailer. Like, man.
I can't even tell what the movie's going to be about. I know that there's Batman, and he's deciding whether or not to be Batman, and then there's Bane. That's all I know.
Well, there's Catwoman. Oh, Anne Hathaway.
Well, I mean, I knew Catwoman was going to be in it, and I know that Joseph Gordon-Levitt is going to be in it, but I don't know what they're doing. I mean, I know she's going to be Catwoman, but I don't know how. She's not in the trailer, so I don't know what she looks like.
She's in the trailer.
I hope she looks awesome. No, maybe I'm watching the wrong.
Suit,
I think I watched the teaser trailer where it's just like very little snippets.
Yeah, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt shows up for like 3 frames in that whole trailer.
I've watched it so close, and I'm like, the only person I saw was Bane, and I'm like, that's not Joseph Gordon-Levitt. That's that other dude that was in Inception.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Batman. Batman, you will be the bane of my existence.
I love Batman so much.
Just kidding. So now that we spent 700 hours talking about whatever we were talking about. Oh, yeah. SOPA, PIPA, movies, got that stuff out of the way. We should move on to the next topic, which is Nikki.
Sexism in video games.
Sexism in video games. There we go. What about sexism in video games? Like, towards you as a girl gamer, or just in general, like how women are portrayed in games in general?
We can briefly talk about the first one, because it basically only happens in voice chat, because there are so many guys who play girl avatars with girl names that you can't really tell who's a girl and who is a guy playing a girl. Which is, it's common practice, but like I'll be playing TF2 and I'll be playing with somebody for hours, and then I'll finally use the voice thing to say something, and they'll go, "Oh my god, I didn't know you were a girl. Oh, boobs, please." You know?
Yeah.
It's just, I've gotten so desensitized to it that I just brush it off, and it's fun for me, you know?
Which, I mean, that's a double-edged sword, because on your side, it's, okay, it's great, like, it doesn't bother you anymore, but on the other side, you shouldn't have to put up with it. Like, it shouldn't have gotten to a point where you are desensitized to it, where you should just brush it off, or else you're just going to ruin your entire little, like, play session, you know, your entire day, basically.
Basically, it's either you go with it and you laugh at it, or you get mad about it, and then it ruins the game for you.
Yeah.
Or you go like Chris in Diablo 2, and you pretend you're a girl and you get free items.
Yeah, or you do that.
See, I've never done that. I'm not one of those girls that is like...
Well, I was.
Oh,
I use sexism to my advantage. I was the wolf in sheep's clothing.
But you see, if a girl legitimately manipulates guys into giving her stuff because she's a girl, then you're part of the problem.
True. But at the same time, who are these dudes that are letting themselves be manipulated by a girl? You know what I mean?
Manipulated?
Yeah, sorry. Manipulated by a girl. Like, oh, I'm a girl, I'll give her free stuff. No, bye. I don't know. It's just...
I'm just one of those girls that, if, like with WoW, I want to raid very hard and earn my part in the raid and get gear when it's my turn.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've earned it.
Mm-hmm. And not because of anything else.
Right. Not because I'm a girl and I need it.
Not because you're a girl and you have a girl's voice. I don't know. I've just... using WoW as an example, I've been in guilds where, like, you know, they use that dumb, whiny girl voice, and it honestly would feel that, sometimes it'd feel like I was the only one that would be like, no, hold on here, man, like, you can't just give that to her because she's a freaking girl. Like, are you joking me?
Like she just joined the guild, she can't give items to her.
She's not even pulling her weight. Well, she's not pulling her weight because she doesn't have the gear. Really? Because we have another guy in the almost the exact same gear doing twice as much as she is. Showing up on time, showing up ready, and, like, you're just going to pass him up because she's a girl. Or the worst was when the guild leader was a guy and his, like, online girlfriend was, like, co-leader. And God forbid you piss her off because you get G-kicked.
That's just sad. But what you're just saying is a double-edged sword too, because it's that thing where people think that all girl game, or the majority of girl gamers are bad. Like, I don't know. Like, sometimes I talk to people and they'll say something about girls being bad, and I'm like, well, am I bad? And they're like, oh no, you're the exception. Like, am I the exception because I'm a girl gamer that's not bad, or because I mean, where is my worth in that?
Yeah. Yeah, no.
So with what you were just saying about, you know, she's not pulling her weight, it's like, that's kind of a subject if you're do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, no, I get you, but I mean, you and I were in a guild for a while, for like a year, 2 years, and I would kick anyone that wasn't pulling their weight. It didn't matter if they were a girl or a guy, but I'm just saying, like, it shouldn't matter if it's a girl or a guy if they're not pulling their weight, or if they're not playing, especially if, I wouldn't say WoW rating is competitive, but I mean, it's team-based, and if you have a team player that's not pulling their weight, you can't give them special treatment just because they're a certain gender.
Right. I think what I was trying to say is that girls get more slack for being bad.
Yeah. They do.
Yeah. And I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if it's right because I was once a WoW noob and I needed some slack. But I mean, that's how I feel about everybody, guy or girl. Like, if you're a noob, I kind of want to help you because I was where you were years ago.
Yeah, and it sucks. Like, I've been there too. It sucks when someone's not, like, willing to help you or figure it out. Like, okay, thanks for nothing. Like, go die.
Yeah,
sounds like Modern Warfare.
Right? Like in Modern Warfare. Like, thank you, Modern Warfare. I think Modern Warfare has been kind of, like, bro-icized. Where honestly, if a girl played Modern Warfare, I have yet to encounter a girl playing Modern Warfare while I play, but I think if those people realized that a girl was in the server with them, the entire game would just explode.
Mm-hmm. It would either be spent helping her out or search and killing her.
Yes. Or just just disgusting sexist.
Well, yeah, that
comments.
that happens anyways. It's like by default.
And that's just that is so sad. And then these are the and then the gaming community as a whole, the majority of the guys are like, well, why don't more girls play video games? How about because every time you encounter one, you start drooling and dry humping everything around you? Like, you need to calm down. Like, that's how I tried to play WoW, was just like, you're, a player first, you're a guildie second, you're this and that next, and then, at the tail end of all that, you're male or female. But that's not gonna determine how I treat you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think people... And it's not just... Obviously, it's not just a problem in games, it's everywhere. And the internet and online games just give people the ability to be anonymous and the ability to just say whatever they want to whoever they want without any repercussions.
I think, like, in the big scheme of things, if this continues in media, like movies and television shows and video games, then people have no choice but to reiterate it in real life. Like, even if you say, oh, it's entertainment, it's not real, it's teaching you social interaction still. Yeah. I mean, it's still getting deep down, and that's how you're going to think.
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to lie, that's how I used to think. Like, I've been these guys before. I've gone through this where a girl would pop up on the server and, whatever, you just start...
Show me your boobs!
I would be the one that would talk trash, though. I'm not going to lie. I was that asshole, like... I would just... I thought I was just treating them like another player, but really I would give them even more shit because they were a girl. And, I'd harass them even more, the whole getting the kitchen jokes and just real stupid sexist remarks. Fortunately... I
can't remember time you didn't troll anybody.
Yeah, well... I think
Troll for life.
my trolling has evolved to another plane, but I think... like I said, I've been these little bastards running around online thinking they're cool because they're telling girls to show them their tits, and the next day at school they're gonna be like, oh, this girl came in the server and I was like, hey, show me your tits, ha ha ha. Mm-hmm. Totally went blank. But yeah, I was lucky enough to find people, and lucky enough to be friends with someone that totally just showed me how I was wrong. Like, she totally just, walked me through everything that I was saying wrong and why I was saying it wrong. And I'm the kind of person that likes to learn, that I love to learn, especially about myself, and any way I can grow as a person, I want to do it. And so just her telling me, like, hey, what you're saying is sexist, or what you're saying is really hurtful to someone, not just because you're cursing out them, but you're attacking them because they're a certain gender, or you're attacking them because they're a certain whatever the hell they are. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that really helped. I think that really helped take my trolling to a whole new level. Like, I used it to take my trolling to a whole new level. So, technically, I'm less offensive, but more trolly. Like, you don't have to be offensive to be trolly.
Right. Good trolls,
Good trolls
don't offend people.
Good trolls don't offend people, they just troll.
Yeah. And props to her, man, because I don't know, I'm tired of doing it. Like, I'm just like, whatever, man, you're going to think how you're going to think, and I'm just going to go over here and do my thing, because,
yeah,
I don't know, I'm just so tired of it.
They don't want to hear it either, though. Like, I've been in a couple Modern Warfare servers where, I mean, this isn't, like, sexism, but this is, like bigotry and homophobia, where they're like, oh, this is so gay, or quit being such a fag. I'm like, oh, okay, like, that's very mature, like... And then I start getting attacked and accused of being homosexual, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. Like, you think I'm homosexual, that's fine, whatever. Like, you're just showing me how ignorant you are. Like, you know. And guys that are sexist and stuff in games are just showing that girl how rude they are. Like, do they honestly think you're going to be like, hey, let me get your gamer tag after they've just been telling you to get in the kitchen? Like, I don't know. And do game companies really think they're going to bring in more girls that play their games when they keep making all their girl characters in, like, scantily clad chainmail bikinis? Like, no.
That's what I want to talk about. I mean, that was what I was thinking of when I said sexism in gaming, because, I mean, I don't know, I guess because I grew up on Crash Bandicoot and Jak and Daxter, even though Jak and Daxter had it a little bit, because they had one virgin character and one whore character, and that was it. Like, and that's the problem, there's never any in between. Like, either it's the frail, I can't do anything, please adventure for me because I can't help myself girl who's sweet and pretty, and your girlfriend. It's the girlfriend character. Mm-hmm. And then there's the other character who, she may be badass and she can take care of herself, but she doesn't wear any fucking clothes.
Exactly. Blood Rain. I'm looking at you, Blood Rain. I'm looking at you, Tomb Raider. I'm looking at you, every game in the 90s.
Every fighting game?
Yeah, I'm looking at you, fighting games. Every fighting game ever in the history of fighting games.
Yeah, and Japan is just taking it to the next level with all the boob jiggles.
Yeah, Japan's
not only do you have to have people fighting in swimsuits, girls fighting in swimsuits, but you have to make their boobs jiggle just right.
I mean, just look at that beach volleyball game they came out with when, like, in 05, 06, 07, I don't know.
Dead or Alive?
I think it was Dead or Alive volleyball or something. I mean, all it was girls in bikinis. And not just in bikinis, it was like I think it was like the boob jiggle engine of 06 that they used to make that game. Like, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous, man. I mean, as a kid of that age, I was like, man, this is the greatest thing ever. Like, look at this. But it did nothing to help anything.
Yeah, it's not a game. It's a boob jiggle engine, you know?
Yeah.
And how are...
It's a fun, wholesome game you can play with the family.
It's just like a vicious circle. What?
Wait, what?
What? What did you say?
I said it's a wholesome game you can play with the family.
I mean, I don't know who game companies are trying to appeal to anymore. Like, eventually the kids they're appealing to right now with their boob jiggle engines and their scantily clad Nordic women, they're gonna grow out of that. I mean, hopefully. But they're gonna grow out of that, and they're gonna...
But the industry doesn't ever change. See, it's what I was trying to say before. Like, I heard what he said, but I guess it just didn't click. And then I went on, and then I didn't hear what he said. Anyways, what I was trying to say was, it's just a vicious circle. Like, girls can't get into video games because there's no good role models. And then, because they're all either helpless virgins or they're badass whores.
Yeah.
So... we're being pushed away, and then developers are like, well, we don't need to make that kind of character because girls don't buy our video games. So it's like, you can't develop it because it's not being bought, but girls can't buy into it because there's nothing being developed, you know?
Yeah, and I remember when Tomb Raider was huge, like, around the times they even made the movies, they were like, oh, you know, girls finally have a strong female character they can get behind. And I'm like, you know what?
Double D's and wears a tank top.
Right? Fundamentally, yeah, she's cool. She flips and she has 2 fucking guns and she's punching sharks and she's traveling the world looking for artifacts. But does she need to wear a V-neck and booty shorts? Like, is that necessary? Like, the boots were cool, but I mean, I'm not 13 anymore. I'm not gonna get a hard on playing a game. You might as well just put her in some clothes that make sense.
And there's also that argument with the scantily clad clothes. Like, a lot of girl gamers don't really care about that because there's that argument in feminism that women should be able to wear what they want to wear, whether it's sexualized or not. And yes, that's true in the real world. But these video game characters, they don't have a choice. They're being developed by people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the developer's choice.
Yeah.
And that's the problem.
Yeah, and I have to give a nice round of applause to Bethesda for in Skyrim. I've noticed that female characters, when you throw plate armor on them, it still looks like plate armor. You know what I mean? Like, it's not enhancing any of their features in any way. Like, it's not whatever. It's still, it makes sense and it looks like plate armor, and that's kind of where I want things to start going now. Like, you know, sure, it would be great if my chick looked like some huntress with side boob, but
Ayla?
Ayla. But I want, like, if I'm gonna be immersed in a game, I'm at that point in my life, and I'm in that mentality where it's like it needs to make sense to me, like a girl fighting in chainmail with you know, crotchless chainmail. That doesn't make sense to me. Like,
yeah, chainmail bikini,
yeah,
like, it doesn't make sense. And I do give props to Skyrim for that, because Uthgerd is one of the best companion. Well, I've just started using her, but she's a really good companion so far. And, like, she has form-fitting armor like she's supposed to, but she doesn't look like a whore.
Exactly.
So.
She looks like a badass. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But did you guys find the hidden Easter egg where she hides like a sandwich in her inventory all the time?
One that she just made.
Here's the question.
See what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about?
You're just perpetuating it, man. If a girl marries a guy, or if a guy marries a guy, because you can do that in Skyrim, right? You can marry.
Yeah, I'm totally gonna marry a dude. Like,
yeah,
I can't.
And I'm totally gonna marry a girl.
I can't do it in real life because I'm not homosexual. But if I can do it in a game, I'll fucking do it in a game. It's like, you know.
So if you marry a guy, does he stay home and cook for you?
I would hope so. I mean, shit, like.
Yeah, because all I've heard, like, I read up on companions recently to try to decide which one to use. And there was this one thread about a guy who was wanting a good wife and companion, like a wife who would cook him food, because I'm assuming that's what all spouses do. And then, but also be a good adventurer to go on adventures with him. So, but I've never heard the other side of that girls wanting a guy to stay home and cook for her. So I don't know if that even happens.
You're right. You know what? I didn't want to spoil it for you, but there is one like that.
Okay. No, just, you don't have to tell me who it is. Just
okay. And that's who I want my companion to be.
Okay.
It's the werewolf.
Yeah.
He goes and brings you dead animals and leaves them at your doorstep like a cat.
Brings you mice with their heads ripped off.
Yeah. A present for you.
Actually, I was looking on Farkas's page because I couldn't get him as a companion because I didn't know it at the time, but you can only do it after you complete the entire companion quest line, and that's for all the companions to get them as companions, followers, or whatever.
I already chose who I want as my companion. I just need to go get her.
But I was looking at Farkas's page, and it said that people often marry him because he's nice to the character. And I'm like, he's not nice to me so far.
Oh, how sweet. He's nice. Forever alone. Someone's finally nice to me. The one I want to get is because she won't die, and she's a hard-ass bitch. Like,
awesome.
She's just like Uthgerd. She'll just run up in there and just start killing stuff. I'm like, that's what I want. That's how I want in real life. I just want a girl that'll run up in there and just start killing people with no questions asked.
You can go ahead and tell me who she is and where you met her. So.
Someone, crap, forgot her name. Probably should have looked it up before, but something Maina the lioness.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's. I I've read articles, and she's arguably the best one because since she's an essential NPC, she won't die. She'll just kneel like Farkas and get back up.
Yeah. So, hey, Michael. You should get Skyrim.
Yeah, I can just keep pretending.
You should stop being sexist and go get Skyrim. He doesn't want it unless there's a chainmail bikini mod.
I already downloaded it, dude. Well, I'm waiting for it.
Yeah. No, but I mean, the whole sexism in games thing, I totally get it. I'm totally against it. Game industries just need to realize that to get more females to buy their games and to get basically a bigger audience to where they can sell their games is to just stop doing what they've been doing since inception, since they started.
Yeah, like Barbie games are. It's not it.
Yeah. Where are the Ken games? I want a Ken game. I want to dress Ken.
Games specifically for gender stereotypes is not solving the problem.
Yeah. Exactly. It's not helping anyone. I mean, when games first started, everyone played them because there was no scantily clad women, and it's just awful because, like you said, these games, whether you like it or not, they're teaching people how to think and what to think, and what we're teaching our kids is that a chick isn't cool or worth it unless she's big boob, skinny, like only wears bikinis and stays home while you go off an adventure.
Even the whole damsel in distress thing, like
yeah, I don't want a damsel in distress.
Save herself.
And like I said, like I don't want a damsel in distress. I don't want a Princess Peach. I don't.
You want a Samus?
Oh God, yes, Samus.
I don't want even that, when she takes off her suit, it's the same thing.
That's true. I want her in the suit all the time.
What would you expect to wear her underneath your giant armor suit? Like a bow tie and
pajamas,
slacks.
Pajamas.
I don't want a Princess Peach. I want a Uthgard the Unbroken. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, there you go.
I want her. I want her in full steel plate. I want her to... Dude, I'm telling you, I jumped in that spider cave. She sprinted past me and just started nailing these spiders, just whacking them with that sword. And I was like, I fell in love.
And then she died.
And then she died. She tried killing one underwater. She was just swimming at the spider, and the spider's shooting her. And you can't attack underwater with weapons. So I had to get out of the water, make a blind shot through the water, and luckily I saved her, but not later on. Anyway.
Next topic.
Next topic, after we just tackled the serious subject of sexism in video games, which, I mean, let's rewind a bit. We expect girls to be, double Ds with tiny itty-bitty waists, damsel in distress, but the guys playing these games aren't Calvin Klein models. They're not fucking 8-packs with huge biceps. Which
speak for yourself.
Yeah, we could also talk about the opposite. I mean, is buff guys, is that sexism?
No,
or is that just a disproportionate portrayal of men?
No. I mean, everyone wants to be the buff guy, so they make the hero this huge buff guy. You know what I mean?
That's what I did in DC Universe.
Yeah, so it makes the guy...
Because you put him in a ballerina tutu.
Yeah, it makes the guys playing him think there's something that they're not. Which, I mean, that's the whole point of a game, is to do something and be someone you're not.
Yeah.
But then 12 hours a day for however many days, you start thinking that you deserve that double D girl with the tiny waist in real life. But you don't, because you don't look like the guy you think you are in the video game. So, yeah. I don't know. Something developers need to work on.
To look at, yeah.
Speaking of developers and games, portable gaming, right? You read an article on how...
Well, I didn't really read an article. I watched the recent Game Station podcast that they're trying to do now, where Total Biscuit was hosting, and he had 3 co-hosts. It was Dodger from Press Art to Continue, Jesse Cox from OMFG Cata, and then Guns for Hire from Next Gen Tactics. Almost forgot it. And Guns for Hire brought up a topic about how he was reading articles I wasn't able to find him, but he was reading articles about how mobile gaming is the future of games.
Mm-hmm.
And because I couldn't find the articles, I don't really know what this subject is about. Does it mean that iOS games are gonna like kill DS games and stuff like that, or is the entire gaming world going to mobile gaming?
Mm-hmm. So, and by iOS games, you mean like Angry Birds and all those little tower defense games and stuff on the iPhone? Yeah, on
or
the
Android
iPhone.
games.
Oh man, I think iOS games like the iPhone games and stuff have been getting popular because they're so accessible to everyone, and unlike those sexist games those big fat cats out in Silicon Valley are making, you don't, it's anyone can pretty much play it. Doesn't matter what gender or whatever, because the main goal of those iPhone games is to be a game. They're not there to immerse you. They're there to give you a distraction, to just be a fun little, look at my high score, intuitive, flick your finger and you're done. Whereas console games are more like, let me immerse you. Come into this universe where you are no longer yourself and you could be someone useful for once. So I don't know. I still don't see the popularity in Nintendo handhelds since they release one every year. I don't see the popularity in any of the PSPs, even the new Vita that just came out. Neo Geo is going to release a new handheld. If it ain't got Metal Slug on it, I don't want it.
Are they the people who made like the Sega Saturn?
Neo Geo, I want to say yes, but if I say yes and I'm wrong, someone will come to my house and kill me in my sleep. They make. I know they're the arcade cabinets with 10 different games on it, and I don't know why there's 10 on there. Everyone only plays Metal Slug.
Is this like a Japanese game company?
Yeah, but they're releasing a handheld also. It looks like the old PSPs. But maybe I'm just too much of a PC gamer. Maybe when I play, I just want to sit down and play at my house. And then when I get up from where I'm playing, I just shut that part of my life off and I go do other things and not have anything tethering me to games still. You know what I mean? Like, I just like to cut the cord and be like, I'm going to go do something today. And not have that PSP in my pocket to just bust out and start playing whatever.
I don't see mobile gaming becoming as popular or prominent unless it stays. Like, I can't see it getting a whole lot more advanced than where it's at right now. Like Angry Birds, Ant Smasher. That seems like the extent of.
How can you get better than Angry Birds, man?
Yeah. The Nintendo 3DS, I mean, it's got Mario 64 on it. Like, Mario 64, it arguably even looks better than it did on the 64. I mean, the new PSPs, I think they're going to be almost PS2 graphics, if not better than PS2 graphics.
You talking about like all handhelds or the phones specifically?
Well,
I thought you were talking about
handhelds,
phones.
because, I mean, do handhelds really cause a threat? Not really a threat, but do you ever see them overthrowing being able to sit in front of your giant 60-inch TV and playing, or will earbuds replace that 7.1 surround sound you just bought? I don't think so. I mean, unless you don't own a car and you're constantly riding the bus. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to make fun of people that do that. That's a legitimate form of transportation. If there were bus routes like that here, I would totally do that. And I would see myself investing in something like that.
California public transportation is not very legitimate.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe if we talked to someone that had more time like that didn't have to drive places or
someone in Europe.
Yeah. I don't really see it becoming. I see it becoming bigger, but I don't ever really see it taking over anything.
No.
Yeah, I think there's always going to be, like, PC console gamers. I think there's always going to be a mobile gaming genre thing going on, and I think there's also going to be sort of a handheld thing, because I mean, they wouldn't be making them if they didn't sell. So somebody's playing them.
I mean, and those somebodies, I know who they are. They're the children of parents that don't give a shit.
Yep.
Extremely rich kids.
When I look at a Nintendo 3DS and I'm looking at who's playing it, it's a little kid, 5, 6, the oldest 12, and the parents sitting there on their phone and the kids playing on their game. I'm like, you're not gonna talk to them? Like, it's your damn kid. Talk to them. This is why kids go and shoot people. This is why kids go and start. No, really though, like, talk to your damn kids. This is why they let games teach them to be sexist. Going back to the whole sexism in video games, this is why your kid tells you to go make them a sandwich. This is why your kid can't get a damn, I'm not going to say girlfriend, but partner, because they're so not used to human interaction and what humans are supposed to be, that they're just going to reflect and spew out whatever the hell that the game has taught them.
Yeah. But I played the shit out of Game Boy when I was little. I think there's just something about being a kid and having to go wherever your parents go, whether it's your choice or not, that
Exactly.
you're on the move a lot. Like, I don't think a lot of kids sit in front of a TV and play video games a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, and I played Game Boy a lot as a kid too, and that's because, like what you said, my parents were dragging me all over the place, man. Like, why am I not going to play Pokemon in the car? And like,
or
I also,
the nail salon.
Yeah, like
what?
When you're in the nail salon waiting for your parents your mom to get her nails done.
Like, I also said too, if I had to take a bus and a train to work, I would invest in portable gaming, or at least a Kindle, something portable that I could take with me, maybe buy more iPhone games or something. But since I have to drive everywhere, and since my parents don't drag me everywhere anymore, it's something I don't see. It's not necessary to me.
Plus, I think if you're a PC gamer or hardcore console gamer, then you're less inclined to get a handheld, even if you have that bus ride. I would rather have music and a Kindle than play what I considered a watered-down version of a game that could be greater on PC or console.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just against handhelds in general now that I've played more games on console and PC.
Yeah. Could you imagine Pokemon on N64? That would have been amazing. That free roam, not really free roam, but that whole game with N64 graphics and the N64 capabilities, that would have been an amazing game. And it made me sad that they never released it as that. That they still haven't released it as that. With all the possibilities we have now, the hardware is getting a lot better, especially on PC. Jesus, the crap that you can put on PC and how good you can make it look, it's ridiculous. And I don't know. I don't really.
I'm just sitting here trying to think of a full-fledged good handheld game that's not a port from an old game. Obviously, you can put an old Nintendo 64 game on a current handheld and it'd be good. Mm-hmm. Because it's about the same power capability. But a good made for handheld game of its own that's great and hours of fun, and that wouldn't be better on a PC or console.
Yeah.
Sonic on the Game Gear. Those Game Gear users, they were real.
You know what? That was original Sonic though on Game Gear.
Yeah.
Game Gears were ahead of their time. Like 15 years ahead of their time. They were backlit. They were color.
Yep.
The screen was huge. So what if it was big and bulky? It died out.
That's what you had to do then to make a powerful console. Just make it bigger, whatever.
15 years later, Nintendo's like, hey, look, it's backlit. You can play in the dark now. And Sega is just standing in the back of the room like, are you joking me? Really? 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 Did he just say that? Really? Everyone's making a big deal about this? Oh, I can play it in the dark now. Welcome to 15 years ago, Nintendo. Really? Everyone's applauding. Everyone's applauding at this? No? Okay. All right. You know what?
I still have a Game Gear somewhere.
I'm Sega. I'm just going to go hang myself and sell Sonic to Progressive commercials.
Oh my god, I
just
saw
saw
that
that
the other day.
Yeah. That is what Sega
ridiculous.
has come to. Poor Sega.
Poor Sonic.
In the back of the room. Back of the room, really?
He is like the abused stepchild of video game characters.
Poor Sonic. So much potential. Really? It's backlit and you could in color. Hello, Game Gear? Anyone remember the Game Gear 15 years ago? No? Yep, I'm alone here? Okay. Man, Portable gaming. I don't know where it's gonna go. Like I said, the new PSP is supposed to be like PS2 graphics or more. The Nintendo 3DS can play 64 games. I don't know where the future is gonna go. Are we eventually gonna have...
Wait. You just say you can play 64 games?
Well, but basically, yeah.
Oh, never mind. I thought you meant it was big enough that you'd stick the cartridge in the back.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I was thinking, how big is this new handheld
online?
game?
There's actually a guy that takes old consoles like that and strips them of all the unnecessary crap and makes them into portables. So I think a portable N64 is going to cost you probably like $120. Is it worth it? I'd buy it. Screw it.
What would you play on?
What would I play on it? Pokemon Snap. Duh. Hello. Probably Turok.
Hey, I got the code for you.
What's the
up,
code?
down, up,
What's
down,
the code
left,
for
right, A, B.
No.
That's not Turok.
Michael knows the code.
Oh, you mean the legitimate code.
TRK.
Hold on, one more time. Go.
NTH, GTH, DGD, CRTD, TRK.
Oh, right. That's awesome.
You can Google that. That'll tell you. It'll come up exactly like
no,
that.
I believe you. Just like if you gave me a PlayStation controller, I can do the armor and the all weapons tier 3 for Grand Theft Auto 3. I can't remember it, but I'm saying it.
Muscle
but if
memory.
you gave me the controller, muscle memory just.
Yeah.
Will we eventually have handhelds that have PS3, Xbox 360 capabilities? I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah. I think that was Total Biscuit's point when Games for Hire brought this up, is that the only way that any of this could even be fathomable is that if you had one universal device that had the power of console, had a power of the PC, but it was mobile, and you could play anything on it, like all the games.
But even then, it's stretching itself so far out because, okay, you have the technology, you've got the power, you've got the battery life, you've got the screen.
We can build it.
Yeah, but what game are you going to play on it? Have you seen the text in these games sometimes? I need a freaking magnifying glass to read this crap. How are you going to do it on a handheld?
Well,
you know what I mean?
There would be ports. Like, if you had a monitor or a TV, then there would be a port that you could plug into this, and you could view it on anything.
But then why even have it?
So
why
you can take it, like... You know the whole thing about how it's, like, if I wanted to go to Andrew's house, and then, across the country, and I wanted to play my PlayStation, but it's here, I would have to, like, pack it and then worry about it and whatever. But if we had this universal device that could carry anything, I could just put it in my pocket.
And then hook it
You
up
just
to
made
his
me
TV.
think of, like...
And then hook it up to his TV, and we could play the same game.
Yeah, you know what? I think you just described hard drives.
I was gonna say, you just described-
Congratulations,
you just
gaming
described
company.
Steam.
You just reinvented hard drives.
It'd be like Steam if it had cross-platform support for everything.
They should just add cross-platform support to Steam. Problem
I
solved.
agree.
I think the only thing holding us back from great universal systems and services is greed. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
pretty
think Microsoft and Sony would give up their monopolization on their little corners for their games.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. They would have to give up, I wouldn't say a lot, but they'd have to give up some things, but at the same time they would gain such a bigger audience.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much, like, the PS3 was so expensive that I had to wait for years to buy it. And then now, I mean, the only reason I needed it was to play Uncharted and to play, console-specific thing.
Yeah. I don't know. Just future of portable gaming. I have a feeling in 10 or 20 years we're going to be just like our parents. Like, you know what we did when we were a kid? We had to go to a console and put a CD in and hit power.
Mm-hmm.
You got it made now.
There was no remote.
Yeah, there was no. There was no thing that connected to your brain. There was no contact lenses you'd put in to see the game in your head.
Oh,
You
wow.
had to stare at a TV screen to play. Okay, now go outside and laser the lawn right now. And,
Somebody needs to animate that scene right there.
please, someone please animate a poor little fat future kid just lasering a lawn right now. So that was episode 2, right? Everyone?
Binary Zoo, episode 2.
Binary Zoo, episode 2. We kept it shorter. I'm not gonna say short. But shorter this time because the last one we were just kind of all over the place, and there was just so much crap from all the holidays.
Yeah.
And all that stuff.
There's a lot to talk about.
A lot to talk about. And next time I'm gonna have even more to talk about. So hopefully y'all stick around. Alright, so
Be back right quick.
So next time Michael comes back from the gym in 2013, we'll record another episode.
Stop going to the gym, man. Stop being fit.
Thursday.
Why don't you go in the mornings like normal person, like I do in the mornings, bro?
Because that's where all the hardcore people are.
Well, okay. Anyway, we'll have the hardcore people talk off air. All right. Thanks, everyone. Everyone say bye.
Bye, guys.
Later.
Bye.